Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Vi. I'm e-commerce marketing expert at Omnisend. And today's topic is one that's often overlooked and kind of dismissed by some marketers. And or it's kind of a topic that we say we'll get around to it, or like we should definitely check it out. But when it comes to that, there's always that question that remains. So how do I stay top of mind for my customers? Or like, how do I get people excited about my brand? How do I get people to come back? And when we're not looking at SMS channel as a marketing tool and a powerful channel to talk to our customers, I think there's a lot of money left on the table. And people are already engaging with businesses that use SMS, people who are actually texting them. So I am very excited that today we're going to talk about, SMS and how to set it up with Omnisend. And to help with that, we have Mangadas. He is our Senior Customer Success Manager at Omnisend. Would you like to say hello?
Hey guys, Mangadas here. Happy to be here on the call and present and share the knowledge that I've gathered throughout this time being customer success manager.
Fantastic. I'm very excited for you guys because, Mangadas is a customer success manager. So it's literally his job to make his customers successful. So no pressure. But I'm very happy that you guys will get that experience on actually having a customer success manager talking you through step by step how to approach SMS, how to send your first SMS as well. And before we begin, just a couple of notes that this session is being recorded and you will receive the recording in your inbox in a couple of days. And if at any point you have a question, at the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A box where you can drop your questions and we will do our best to answer those. So, Mangadas, the stage is yours.
Great. So today I have this agenda that I want to share with you. And it's really funny because being customer success manager, I do tend to talk about SMS quite a lot, especially right now. And one of my managed clients wrote just before our webinar that they are going to use SMS after we talk them through and explain why SMS is a good option for them, and it's uncharted territory. So I hope that you will have similar sentiment after this webinar as well. And yeah, right here you can see the agenda is why you shouldn't wait any longer. So discovering why SMS is no longer optional and how it's driving the results now. And yeah, why just all of the brands that are early are ahead and probably ahead of you. So be one of the front runners. Common concerns, we'll cover those as well. So addressing the fears, opt-outs, compliance to spammy SMS myth. And yeah, just let's start the record straight. And for the SMS and email tandem, these together work great, and you'll understand why. It boosts each other and feeds off each other. I'll give you some examples. And I'll give you even more examples in success case, real world ones from my clients and from other CSMs that are working with us. And yeah, you'll see some surprising things for you and what you can steal from them as well. And obviously how to start. So from setup to first send, an actionable walkthrough. It's going to be very simple, but I just want you to know how to do it right after this webinar. And let's jump into it. So for the next slide, we can talk a little bit more about why customers are already texting and not with you. Or just not with you. So as you probably know, and from my generation, people are texting right now still its most used form of communication today, including messenger apps. And 90% of the messages are being read within the first 3 minutes, unless you're sleeping. So it's even better open rates than email. Consider that as a first point. And SMS is where your customer's attention already lives. So over 6 billion smartphones are being used daily, and over 6 billion SMS messages are sent in the US alone. That's only a single country, but consider all of the markets that you can or are operating. And yeah, it just shows the number and brief scale. If you're not using, you're losing. So your customers are texting your friends, family, other brands as well, and not you. So if you're not using SMS yet, you might missing a chance and sitting on the gold mine. And yeah, it's the most direct approach you can take. It's even more direct than email or other marketing channels that we can offer to Omnisend. And yeah, it's not about replacing the email. It's just a complementary strategy that you can use on top or just combine together. So once again, I want to double down on SMS being not nice to have anymore. Yeah, as you can see in the slides, some statistics for you for the conversion rate and how well does it do in terms of click rates. It's not nice to have anymore. It's a must. And it's not just some bonus channel you can think about using later. It's where the real results are happening now. So brands are using SMS seriously and seeing more clicks, more sales, more faster responses from customers. And if you're relying on only email, you're missing out on one of the quickest ways to connect with your customers. And right now, as I mentioned in my previous webinar, the UGC and communication and brand awareness is very important to have. So not only trying to capitalize on the SMS ability to turn that FOMO into a purchase, but also just spreading that brand awareness and making sure that your brand is on top of everyone's head, mind probably. And yeah, once again, 2 out of 3 Americans check their phone more than 160 times a day. I just want you to let that number sink in. And imagine how many of these people check their emails throughout the day. So if you think that email is a very good opportunity for your brand, maybe SMS could be even better. And actually, about 50%, it's 48% or close to that of the customers would prefer to receive special promotions and offer through messages based on the case studies that we had. And yeah, with more messages sent year over year, it's once again not nice to have anymore. It's a must. And I know that many of you might have concerns. How do I start? Maybe I don't know something about SMS and maybe it's too spammy. And we can start with it's spammy. And it's only if you do it wrong. Yeah, it can be spammy, but only if you do it wrong. When done right, SMS is very personal, relevant, and welcoming, and customers actually opt in to receive your messages. So it's not unusual for them to receive text. It's not unlikely that they are not looking forward to receiving those. And with very high open rates and very high percentage of the attention span concentrated to the phone throughout the day, it's very likely that your brand will be on the top of everyone's minds that you are contacting. And yeah, just don't overdo it. Think about order updates, think about special offers, VIP perks. It's everything except the random blast that usually happens with SMS. And yeah, it's not about spamming, it's just connecting with your client. And another point is it's hard to manage consent. So yeah, managing SMS consent might sound tricky at first, especially given the TCPA, GDPR rules. It's sometimes for someone that has no experience in sending SMS might seem tricky, but with modern tools, just like Omnisend is, you can definitely collect these consents with built-in compliance forms. I'll show you how to do that in the walkthrough, but it's not a headache anymore with checkboxes through checkout, through sign up forms. It's very simple to do that. And to manage that consent, it's also very easy because you include in the each and every single message, you're allowing every single SMS receiver to unsubscribe if they do not want to get that content. And it's actually not that likely that they are likely to opt out, especially if they subscribe at first. So staying with TCPA and GDPR, it's not that difficult. Trust me. And you don't need a legal expert for that or Saul Goodman to help you out. And the third one, it's only for promotions. So yes, I hear you. We all get SMSs for discount on groceries, for any different H&M, for example, or any different brand that sells and has discounts. But you can also have SMS-only communication, last chance reminders, abandoned checkout, abandoned cart, welcome series, re-engagement, order shipping confirmation, and also birthday, anniversary gifts. It's not only for promotions, it's how you manage to connect with the client. So you only need to think about a good way, and it can be one single solution for you. And email plus SMS. Again, once again, it's a very good combination when built together. So email builds the story, SMS drives the action. So my idea and proposition would be to use email to educate your customer, to inspire them, nurture them, also explain about what your brand does to get more understanding, and then capitalizing that nudge through the SMS and get clicks and conversions. So let's say you are launching a new skincare line, you start with an email, you build a story, the inspiration behind the products, you introduce a new line, key ingredients, everything that you can, you build throughout an email chain. And then on the release date, you send an SMS. It's here. Meet your skin's new best friend, shop it right now, and include the link. So that quick, timely text drives immediate traffic. And I know I mentioned that it's not only promotional, I gave a promotional example, which sounds counterintuitive. You still have to use all of the opportunities. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to rely on promotions, but you definitely can and should at sometimes. And yeah, that's a very good example how you can use both in tandem. And as you know, SMS adds urgency. It's perfect for time-sensitive matters. So you can also experiment with sales that happen at midnight. If you educate your customer a day before, a week before that something's happening, in the midnight of 25th of April, and look out for an SMS, and then you send the SMS last chance. Our flash sale ends in 2 hours, and don't miss out, shop now. That's the FOMO that really works with emails, but it definitely works even better with SMS. And that's a good opportunity for you to use in adding that urgency. So yeah, it's just another layer. And combining both in the automation flows, so welcome, cart recovery, and post-purchase, these are top of the line that I can imagine SMS being in. These are the ones that I recommend my clients the most. So for example, for abandoned cart flow, it's very easy to do. You send one email, you left something behind, you send a follow-up SMS a few hours later, still thinking over it. Here's a 10% discount, 15% discount, or free shipping, whatever you can offer for the client. And then after a few days, you send a follow-up email again, just trying to use that multi-channel approach in making sure you're covering all the bases when keeping in touch with the client. Because as you know, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout flows, these are the last steps before actually purchasing the product. That's why you really have to put in that extra effort in targeting your client. And yeah, this combo just keeps your clients top of mind, as I mentioned before, without overwhelming them too much. Just a single SMS in one of the flows already can do wonders. And as I mentioned, you can start simple and you have to start smart. So if you're wondering where to begin, the best answer is just start. Just start collecting SMS phone numbers. And that's usually not the case. You don't need a complex strategy at first. Pick one flow, like welcome or card recovery, just as I mentioned before. Start collecting the consents, just like in the screenshots, as you can see, they were Thread brand, they're collecting email and phone number at the same in the same form. So you can send them a simple message, hey, thanks for joining us. Here's our 10% discount in the welcome flow. Keep it copy short, CTA clear, and make sure that there's a real value for them to subscribe. And as you can see, it's very simple. It's just phone number and TCPA compliance. So feel free to use that. And for starting simple and starting smart, for the first message ideas, right here, the one that I mentioned, 10% discount off your first order, and also 2-hour flash sale. Tap here to shop. So that's how it's supposed to look for US and Canada recipients. And yeah, as you can see, it's what I want to say. It's very simple and it doesn't require for you to know a lot of things beforehand. So hopefully you'll try it out after our webinar. And some more tips that I would like to share as well, making it feel more natural. So on the right side, you can see the day designer example of Mother's Day SMS campaign. It's actually MMS, since you can see in the photo inside it. And what's really important is making it feel like human sent it, and also making sure that it's aligned with your brand's image and what your brand stands for. So not a robot, it's matching your brand's tone, using friendly language, even emojis. But yeah, but send it smartly, because there are some things that you have to be aware with emojis. It just changes the encoding, and your SMS starts to shrink in characters, and it makes it a little bit costlier to send if you really like to spam emojis in SMS, which I do not recommend in general. So yeah, just respect the frequency again, 1 to 4 each month to start. I would remain at 2, let's say 2 monthly SMS on specific occasions, and it definitely not sending to all of your customers. Target your most active, loyal VIP customers. I know that there was a webinar with segmentation, and we'll be able to share that with you as well. But as you already know how to segment or start segmenting, just target those customers. It's very likely that you will succeed. And if you don't know how, reach out to our technical team at Omnisend through the live chat, and they will be able to help you out on that too. And yeah, I'm going to cover more real results from Omnisend merchants. I think this is much more useful than going through theory, what can be done in terms of SMS and MMS. And I have two great examples. So Vape Superstore and Vagari Bags example. So you'll see that it doesn't really matter how many customers you are reaching through the SMS campaign. The return can be really great. So for the Vape Superstore approach to the sign-up form, as you can see, they have a really, really simple approach and layout. In the one step, they are asking the client to leave their email, and in the second step, they're asking them to leave the phone number. And that's it. That just leads to them succeeding and relaying the 10% discount code. The idea of SMS, I know that sometimes merchants are reluctant to include SMS collection in the sign-up forms just because it takes another field to fill out and it's more personal data. So what's really great with Omnisend, and we recently introduced the option to skip to another step. So make this field not required, and just if customer will want to receive these SMS texts from you, they will. And if they won't, they'll simply not going to leave the phone number, and that's a really great indicator that you can send to these customers once again. So yeah, it's a very simple approach combining SMS with email, and I would recommend taking this approach. It's very simple, and it just in the Web Superstores POC words, the customers do really appreciate the directness of the SMS and immediacy. So they expect to receive content right here, right now. When they subscribe, they expect to hear from the brand. And yeah, whoever has the concerns to try with the SMS, just try it. I think you'll be surprised with the results. And one more thing is Wagari Simplicity. This is actually a client that I manage here at Omnisend. And if you look at the message at the bottom, it's very simple. It's just some text about new chocolate color bags that just arrived, link to them, and ability to unsubscribe. And if you take a look at the screenshot above, that's coming from their SMS campaigns that happened in November, February, June. It's now being used a little bit more often, and we talked with them about using SMS in automations. So step by step, once again, Wagaibags took a very simple one step to send the first campaign. And for £1, sorry, because the brand is from UK, they spent with Omnisend. Wagaibags actually saw a return of £121 back. So let that sink in. It's a really, really huge ROI, and it doesn't necessarily have to be full SMS audience list, or it doesn't have to be a huge list. Just send to 1,000, to 500, just test out the waters. And in particular, Bagari Bags use SMS for product launches, exclusive offers, reserving emails for storytelling, so diversifying the approach. It doesn't have to be the same approach you take for both email and SMS. You have to diversify and make it a little bit different. So right now it's in the welcome flows, abandoned cart messages, and we're working together to make it happen in the cart and also checkout automations. So that's really, really great results. I'm happy with them, and they're happy with Omnisend. So I'm hoping that you'll be happy after sending your first SMS to you and decide to do that. And obviously, now it's your turn. So I'm going to walk you through the SMS creation. So the main steps are building your list and picking your first flow, also drafting your first message and hitting save. So getting consent through the form, selecting flow, drafting, adding to automation. Repeat after me. And yeah, it's simple 4 steps, and you can hit save at the beginning, at the end, and I'm sure that it will be great. So in this GIF, or some may call GIF, is an explanation how to add the consent collection to the form. If you have the form already, that's great. If you're collecting, that's great. But for those who aren't, as you can see in the beginning, you can select any of the templates that include email only, SMS as well. From the left corner, from the left sidebar, you'll be able to drag in phone number and also the collection of consent as well. As you can see right here, it's being dragged legal consent, and voila, that's it. On the right corner, you'll be able to select TCPA, which is compliance for the collection of phone numbers and receiving marketing campaigns. And yeah, that's very simple. So that's how you start building the list, checking it twice, sending to everyone that's naughty and nice. And let's go to the second step. So picking your automation flow. My recommendation would be to start with one simple automation, and that can be welcome, that can be abandoned cart, abandoned checkout. If you don't want to have a transactional resentment to SMS, you can start with welcome. If you want to capitalize on sales more, choose abandoned cart or checkout. And as you can see, when you choose from templates, already you can select one that includes SMS. And on the right menu, you'll be able to edit everything that touches technical parts and content of the SMS. And I know that you might not be able to see that very clearly, but I have you covered in the next slide, drafting your first SMS. So also, this is an option to, when you go through the campaigns, when you create new campaign, you probably saw it before. So when you click create SMS right here, you'll be able to see draft your first SMS. And in the slide, it's very clear. We only have few fields, so don't be discouraged. You have to select your campaign name, sender name. As you can see, I've selected Mangirdas, so it appears as Mangirdas for non-US and Canada recipients. And for US Canada recipients, it would be the number. And in the message content, you have to include whatever you want to say to your customers, that you love them, that you cherish them. Also, what you can do is to include personalizations, that three little dots with parentheses as well. So once you collect more information through sign-up forms about the clients, you can include personalizations. You can also include emojis, as you can see. And since it didn't fit into one picture on the right side, you can see the automatically shortened links. So in the preview, you can see 0snd.com. That's the shortened link. My recommendation would be to leave the automatically shortened links because that's the option how to weigh in if you're doing good with SMS campaigns or not. That's how we are able to track clicks and revenue. And otherwise, unless you have a different way to track that, I would remain with this toggle slided to the right. And also you can adjust the unsubscribe instructions, and it's very simple, and it's different for US, Canada from the other world, but I'm sure that it's straightforward as well for you to understand. So that's all there is to SMS creation. It's nothing you have to do in terms of how it appears. You don't need to add fancy logos. You don't need to work on layout. You only need to write some text, and that's it. And select, obviously, you have to select who do you want to contact. And for that, just choose the segments you want to reach. As I mentioned before, there was a webinar, but also we have really good information how to build your segments and how to target clients that are engaging with your content. These are the ones that I recommend contacting at first, and you can also send test SMS to yourself to see how it appears. And yeah, that's probably it. And I hope that covers most of the things. I know that it does. Obviously, there will be always questions around if I'm doing this right, if I'm doing this as expected. But I want to reassure you, it's not that hard as it feels the first time. I know that you might be scared a little bit. And there are some regulations around SMS, for example, in terms of what content can you send, or you don't want to upset your clients that much, and you think that your clients will be upset, but trust me, clients are looking to receive those SMS. So just try it out, see how it goes. I'm sure that it will go well, and then just explore other options with automations, how to emphasize the SMS weight. And yeah, that's it. If you take one thing away from today, uh, probably it's that you don't need to be perfect, just need to start and choose one entry point, get consent, write a single message, and send it. And that's it. You'll learn, you'll improve, and see the results along the way. So SMS isn't the future, it's happening right now, and all the brands are embracing it, and you should embrace it too. And
Awesome. If you go back to the slide with the segment, there if you read one back, yeah, so you have a button to send a test SMS. So, that could be your actual first step as well. So
yeah,
you send it to yourself.
yeah, exactly. You have to explore everything. You have to be creative. At first, if you're not feeling creative, just take anything from this webinar and put it into action. Just copy, just change the text a little bit, and you'll do good. And yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. It's something that you also said that I really liked was, for SMS, you don't need any fancy templates or think, how should the layout look or what images you should use. SMS, it's in the name, short text message, you keep the message short. And again, you said SMS drives action. And that's what it is. It's quick and kind of like what I was thinking at the beginning when, you were saying it was crazy how often we look at our phones, like at our screens, actually. And, I was like, yeah, I use messaging apps to talk to people, but SMS for me has become like notification tool. I get notifications that my parcel has arrived. I have notifications, you know, uh, again from my favorite restaurants that come back, or like you get your booking reservations. So I like, if you're not using this to notify your customers, like you're missing out.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it's not only a promotional tool. You can use and leverage SMS about any updates that are going about your brand. If you're going through replenishment, if you're going through changes in some structure that's important for the client to know, make sure you're sending that SMS. It's sometimes it might not feel as important to you, but it's important for the client to know at the end of the day. Yeah,
Absolutely. And like another thing is, uh, we are thinking about our brands every day. Like for us, it's the most important thing, but our customers have already forgotten that. And you texting them, it could be a really nice reminder, like, hey, we exist. They're not thinking about you. Sorry, but that's true.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a very good tool just to keep every and your brand in mind. Just of the even looking at the metrics that I've shared, it's 160 times to check the phone each day. It's crazy. We live in technology world and everything's digital right now. And yeah, it's sometimes that we don't even check the email that often, but SMS phone is like in my pocket. I'm looking at the notifications. I check the weather, and that SMS always slips through,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that in the notification. So yeah, it might not seem that, oh, my audience is a little bit older, or maybe they are Gen Z and they do not read SMS and they're using whichever messaging app, but it's still there. They're receiving it. They know about your brand and they have that brand in mind.
Absolutely. That is the trick. They will see your message. And I guess for like a lot of, especially smaller business owners, there is
Mm.
that hesitation like, I really want to be seen. I want people to see my brand. I want them to shop with me, but I don't want to bother them. Whereas in reality, we have to get over that. Like SMS is that platform to be seen.
Exactly, yeah. And I think that SMS is a really good tool to build that relationship with, especially for smaller brands. I think when you have a smaller audience, you know them much better and what they want to hear from you, and creating that relationship and sending more personalized texts and maybe using personalizations more as well. But that really goes a long way, and make sure that clients know that you want them with your brand. They want you to explore and think about your products. Yeah.
Awesome. I have a question for you, and I think it's very relevant to most of people who are starting out with SMS. So I'm starting out, all is good. What metrics should I consider when I'm evaluating whether it's working, it's not working? What should I
Mhm.
improve? What would be those metrics?
Yeah, so probably for the SMS, my two most important ones, since we can't track open reads for SMS, that's impossible. Um, uh, but it is possible to track click rates. So click rates and revenue, probably one more. Click rate and revenue is one of the ones that I identify as the main metrics to see if your performance is good, and comparing to other brands, let's say in these fields, or maybe in general in that country. But also spam rates, and not spam rates, but sorry, unsubscribe rates. This is probably one of the most important metric for you to understand if your content is good or it can be improved, because if clients do not want to hear from you, they will unsubscribe. We have that option, they will use that option, trust me. And if you're seeing higher than expected unsubscribe numbers, make sure to do improvements. That's your sign to change something up, and that your content just might not be as good as you think it can be.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's just, keeping it simple. Do not overthink. Like if people are not unsubscribing, keep going. That is your confirmation.
Yeah, and the only way to find out is to try it. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing that came to mind as well was, what segments to target. And I think the counterintuitive thing would be, oh, those people who haven't opened my email in a year, I should get their attention. But then tell me if I'm wrong, but those people already unengaged. So why would you spend your money on them when you have people who gave their phone numbers, who are shopping with you, and they're probably likely to spend more money? Is that correct assumption?
I think in general it's a correct assumption. However, there's still some things to consider. And customers, sorry, who didn't engage with your content for a year, let's say, but have the phone number left and they subscribe for it. So you have to consider that you are still able to send to them, but definitely not the same content that you're sending to your most loyal clients. It's very different, and I think it's very similar with email campaign approach, that you have to choose and differentiate your customers based on their engagement and send different content to them. So if you feel like one specific segment needs more education about your products, if they're not convinced enough, and it really also depends on your product itself, if you can include that information. So it's, in general, yes, but there's still opportunity to do that, I would say, once. Just like with customer sunset policy
Mm-hmm.
that we recommend on implement. It's when you reach out to the clients who didn't engage with your content for a long time. They are subscribed for at least 3 6 months. Let's say they haven't ordered anything in recent months, and that's how you try one more time with them and then unsubscribing them manually yourself. And I believe a similar approach can be done with SMS, but if you have 50K of SMS subscribers that are haven't been contacted in 1 year, no, definitely no. You have to do that in smaller batches as well.
Awesome. And one other thing was when you were talking about setting up the collection, the phone number collection. The thing that came to mind yesterday, we had a webinar with Jesse from Viber Media, and he was
Mm.
sharing how they implemented SMS in their flows, and something that was uh, it was a some people will hesitate again to give their phone numbers because it's sensitive information. So
Mhm.
it's about, they got creative about giving those people an incentive to give their phone number as well. So for your
Mhm.
email, they would get, 10% discount maybe. And then for their phone number, they would enter a raffle, a giveaway. Maybe you can
Mhm.
offer a different discount as well. And that is possible with Omnisend forms as well. So, just be creative and, that little incentive, especially if you're just starting off and you're collecting those phone numbers, that could be very useful as well. And just last note on that is if you're hesitant about SMS, like sending it, well, just focus on collecting the phone numbers. You don't have
Yeah,
to send anything to them. And if you start now, think about how many phone numbers you'll have in time for Black Friday. There's so much time, and then once you have that list, you can reach out to us if you're unsure. Maybe you have a dedicated customer success manager and he can talk through the campaigns, how you should utilize that list that you have.
exactly. Yeah, we do have very good knowledge on how to approach Black Fridays and other celebrations throughout the year and special occasions. So it's very different with Black Friday. How do you approach it? When it's the best time to send? It's actually not on the Black Friday, but 2 weeks, let's say, before that, all the preparation. But one more thing that I wanted to mention with forms as well is that you can also target and create a segment of subscribers who are subscribed to your email marketing but are not subscribed to SMS. Create a form and only target that segment using incentive for them to subscribe and leave the phone number. So it's also because subscription form wouldn't show for already subscribed, but you subscribed clients. So that's just another layer how you can think of it when you want to collect more from the engaged clients. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a question in a chat box, and it's more of a compliance related, but maybe you'll have the answer. And if not, we will get back to you after this. But the question is, you already have a list of phone numbers, and then you join Omnisend. So you're
Mhm.
transferring that list of those phone numbers. So do you need to do anything else in regards to compliance? Or if you already have their phone numbers, is that's kind of like them consenting to it?
I mean, it really depends how the phone numbers have been collected. So that's the key question. If you have the consent from before and import them with the consent, that's absolutely fine. However, if you do not have the proof of consent and you don't have consent in general, I would double check with the technical team what's the best approach, and probably the best approach would be the sad story of not sending to those clients.
Awesome. So yeah, if you are unsure, you can just contact our support team. They would be more than happy to answer that question and go through the technical side of it as well.
That's true.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think that was very helpful. And again, when it comes to SMS, just start. You know, you will need phone numbers. That is rule number one. You can't send SMS without phone numbers. So if anything, just start collecting the phone numbers, build up the list, and with the building up list, you can build up the courage to actually send out the first SMS. You will receive a recording of this, so you can go through all the notes. You can go through the checklists. You can follow the screens and step by step information. And then you can send a test message to yourself and just be like, okay, this works. This is what it looked like. And you'll have it. And then if you have any other questions after that, then you can contact our support team who will be more than happy to answer that. So, Mangerdas, thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll see you again.
I hope so. I hope.
Amazing. So thank you, everyone. You will receive the recording in a couple of days, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.